Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Eric. I'm going to teach you some deep tissue techniques to work on the hamstrings right in here, okay? So our hamstring muscles, we have semitendinosus, membranosus, and bicep femoris, okay? So going back to our three-finger rule is we don't want to put any pressure right behind the knee. I have another three-finger rule, so three fingers above. I don't want to put pressure. I can touch, but that's where I'm going to start touching, and I might start engaging pressure on the last finger right in there. Okay. Real quick, we also have two muscles behind the kneecap right in here. Real simple. We have popliteous and plantaris. Okay, so for this is more of a Swedish technique or tool, even though we're being specific, making it a deep tissue. They're really small, thin muscles, but after you've maybe gone running for the first time, they might be really sore and inflamed. So this is kind of more Swedish because it's circulatory. With this, I'm just going to use a thumb right in here, right behind the knee, and I'm just gently going to fan that out. So it's circulating, getting out lactic acid, any other metabolic waste that might be in there, stagnant blood, just helping circulation. So this is just a really nice, gentle smearing, okay? So I'm just smearing across the knee. I'm not pushing into the knee. It's not compressive. Compression still into the knee, behind the knee is going to be really unpleasant. So if anything, we can just smear that out, and that'll really help any pain runners or athletes are having back there, or brand new gym goers. Okay, so for our hamstrings in here, I'm just going to throw some cream up on here. To warm up, a really effective tool to warm this up, I really don't like doing any kneading or wringing. For my technique, for my touch, I've just learned if I do kneading, it'll elicit a pinch in here for some reason. Wringing, I don't like doing because it takes us into the inner thigh. I don't think that's a smart thing to do, unless your target is toward the adductors, in which case we're going to put the body in a whole different position. Okay, so to warm the hamstrings up, I like to use collapsed fists. So collapsed fist, I'm using all of this right in here. Another part of collapsed fist is when I use a collapsed fist, the fingers are just dangling back here. So I'm not making a serious fist in here, okay? Collapsed fist. The fingers back here relax is what's making this collapse. Now as I use these collapsed fists, what you'll notice is my wrist here is going to stay locked the whole time. To make sure the wrist stays locked, you'll see my elbow pop out to keep my shoulder in alignment. You'll see the shoulder pop out also to keep the wrist in alignment. If the wrist were, for every reason, if you start to see your wrist bend right in here, a way we can fix that is by simply rotating thumb up, or if your thumb's already up, you can rotate thumb to the side, and that'll help keep your wrist supported and maintained. So a little bit more cream on here. Okay. What I like about this is I'm taking a little bit of an A-frame right in here, so I'm using some body weight. What's nice about this is you can evaluate with your collapsed fist if there are knots in here or not. And it allows you to warm everything up. So you're warming it up, but you're also getting a sense of where those knots really are. Okay, so directly from this warm up, you can use the same tool to strip into the hamstrings. As we strip into the hamstrings, you want to take this all the way up to the ischial tuberosity of the ischium. So it'll come up and then kind of veer in, but you will feel the wall that you're hitting right in there. So you're kind of coming into the ischial tuberosity of the ischium. You're also feeling the sacrum in there, that ball and socket. But it creates a wall, that skeletal structure, so you can't go any farther up. So it's a natural skeletal barrier right in there. Okay, so that's really your first strip. You can have a hand coming back. Now, as we're doing that, you really want all of your pressure directly on top. If you go a little bit, here's the hamstrings, so right in between these two fingers. If you go a little bit too far, you're going to be in the IT band, so that's going to not feel very good if you're compressing in there. If you get too medial, you're really going to be in the adductors. And it's really easy to get into those other structures without really knowing or think about it. So you really want to practice that with a student or another practitioner that can give you really good feedback so you can make sure you're in the right spot. Okay, so that's going to be our single collapsed fist. That works really well. We can use a double fist in there. I'll use that as well, and I'm still pretty good about keeping that in the hamstrings in there. okay? Ending right up there at the ischial tuberosity. Another tool we have is we have the forearm in here. So forearm is usually the last three fingers here. You also do have your elbow. Okay, for that, we're going to bring this in. This is going to be more forearm, and we can have this come all the way up. So I'm going a little faster than I normally would. And then again, I still end in that natural skeletal wall. If I want to use more of the elbow, I'm going to rotate this a little bit more, similar to how we're stripping the erectors when we strip the erectors from inferior to superior. So now the elbow, there's more of a drag, and I can get the hamstrings this way. It's going to be a little bit more specific and targeted in there. So I want to make sure I'm stable in there and feeling this. And then when I get towards the end, I can switch it back to the forearm and end into that natural skeletal barrier right in there. Okay. If you are finding a knot in there somewhere specific, what you can do, there's a couple tricks. If you find that you're wobbling out, is I kind of call this a chevron in here. I bring my knuckles in this way so the knot will come directly down. So I can come in here, that kind of target gives you some stabilizing in there, and you can really target on a specific knot. So with that, I'm just using fists like this, bring it together, making this little triangle coming in here, and you can get right in there. Another technique is called an anchor and stretch technique. I like to bring my leg up there, gives me a little more support. So if our knot is right here, I am going to sink my two knuckles in just beneath or inferior to the knot. I want this leg at a flexed position right in here. Then I want to sink in. Once I sink in, I'm slowly going to let the leg, the knee extend. As I extend, the knot is going to slide underneath the knuckle. So it's a way of really targeting a specific knot in the hamstring, and usually they're right in here. And you can do it really quickly in succession if you want. Ring, apply pressure. Each time it comes up, reapply. Let it come down. When it comes down, then you can let go, bring it up, and reapply pressure. So you can do a couple of them fast, or if you really want to get it, you can change the tempo, get in there, and slowly let it come down. Okay? And those are a couple of really good techniques for getting the hamstring. If one leg is longer than the other, then they're really going to have some pain in here, some hip issues, the quads in there, and you really need to target on a whole nother level. What you can do is attack it from the opposite direction with the elbow, and this is going to be a slightly different sensation than coming inferiorly to superiorly. And it's the same technique we've been using with the elbow. You can also use the forearm this way too. If you have to go from superior to inferior, as I'm doing now, I probably would not use the collapsed fist. You could, but if you're going superiorly to inferiorly, it's usually because there's more of an issue in here, which means you're probably going to need a bigger tool anyways than the collapsed fist. All right, that is pretty much the basics for deep tissue for stripping and warming up the hamstrings in there. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if this was helpful, and leave any comments that I can help you or address for future YouTube videos. All right? Thank you guys.